Hey everybody, welcome to Talk Daily. I'm your host Eddie, and today we're going to be talking about a very entertaining article, courtesy of Motor Trend, and this is about the 2021 Chevy Corvette, the good, bad, and the whatever. That's the title of the article. It's written by Scott Evans. I will have a link to this article in the description below. And I think it's a really entertaining article because I've been having it for about a year, and they have a couple of things I don't like about this car, and a lot of things I like it. I personally think the Corvette is a spectacular car. It is the best value for money if you want to go fast. Sorry, Porsche. Sorry, Ferrari. I mean, I love Ferraris. I love Porsche, but nope. There is no comparison. Anyway, so it has, I mean, it's mind boggling. I love it. Look at this. It actually has a nose lifting. See that little button right here for the nose lifting? You see that? That button right here is actually GPS tracked, meaning you go to a location where you know you want the nose to go up and the car would know and it would just automatically raise it. That's genius. That is genius. So obviously, if you're a Corvette owner, you probably know these things, right? And you're like, oh yeah, it's great. I just think it's fantastic. I think it's a great idea. More car needs to have that, especially the sport cars that have that little nose front. Because again, yours truly in my Miata, my sport car. I, anybody has a modified car that lowers it. We all know we never drive forward. That's why when I'm walking by, the parking lot or shopping area, whatever, and see people get really, really close to the little concrete curb stopper, and you see them drive over it, and you hear that noise, that noise when they drive over. Oh my God, it's awful. Well, all of us who have we sport cars, people we lower the cars, so we very aware of it. We never park that close. We kind of just look forward and just eyeball it. But in case of the Corvette, technology come to your rescue, where automatically would raise up. And there's another feature by it too. Do you see that one that says the camera in the front? And that's smart. You press that button, and there's a camera literally looking forward, downward, looking at your, the lip, your, the front of the car, the bumper. So it knows how close you are, so you don't make contact with that brake. So even if you don't need to lift the nose, you can just press that button, and you can see exactly where you're going. I think that is amazing. I think the guys at GM, the guys that are making the Corvette are genius. Genius. The next thing they're talking about is the trunk release under the headlight. They call it the front trunk. They're saying that obviously there's a button underneath the front headlight where they can press it as long as you have the keys in range, and will open the front trunk. And they really love that idea because previously, because you would imagine for safety, whatnot, they don't want to have access. You open the trunk, so I guess when you're driving, it doesn't open. I don't know. They have to cover the whole realm of what if could happen. That's what the lawyers are there for. But long story short, the engineers came with an idea to surpass it, which is if you have the key close proximity, you get close to it, and you can open it. So to quote it specifically, said hiding a button under the driver's side headlight that only works when the key's in range was a stroke of genius from the Corvette team. I think everybody works at Corvette is a genius, but it's just me. Really are. I think they're amazing crew. The next thing is talking about how you could probably customize it and save it. That is actually not really that new. You could actually set up the setting for your car. Let's just say you have a BMW or whatnot. You can set up your settings, how stiff you want the steering wheel, your suspension, your ride. They're just saying that it's more accessible. You're able to access it much quickly, and they're just spoken a little fun about BMW saying, you don't have to push 17 buttons to get there talking to your BMW. They're just saying that, it's just nice. That system is much more friendly. They're saying, plus there's a My mode on the rotary mode control, which allows you to customize Tour Comfort mode for everyday driving, and Z mode button, named for the father of the Corvette, Zora Arkus Dontov, which puts the car in your customized sport or track mode at a push of a button. I think that's awesome. Ease of convenience, more accessible features. Nobody wants to go to this menu, submenu, 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 submenu. So it makes sense. That's smart. That's very smart. Again, speaking of smart entry and exit. As you can clearly see when you open the door is big. It's a Corvette, so you have a big door. So getting in and out, they have a feature where the seat will fall back. The seat will fall back. The seat will retract backward, okay? And that gives you more accessibility. It knows when the car is off and you open the door, it will just fall back so you can in and out. It's labeled seat entry mode and seat exit memory. And that is that's very, very clever. Again, it's allowing the vehicle to have a larger demographics and all sort of people can drive it. And I think that's amazing. It doesn't matter you're short or you're tall, you're able to get in and out of a car in comfort. Next thing, this is auto lock. They're saying the auto lock, the feature. I don't know if you know, again, on a Corvette, if you lock the car and lock the car from the inside, you can just open the door. You literally have to unlock it. But they talk about that. But saying that Corvette doesn't have a button or a sensor on the door handle that lets you lock or unlock the door just by touching it. This means you need to dig out the key fob to lock the doors every time you get out of the car. Or you can enable the automatic locking program, which automatically locks the door when you get out of the car and walk away. And they're just saying they wish you could wait a little bit longer until the key was a bit further away, as sometimes locks in time it takes to walk around the back of the car to the passenger door, where you might want to grab something. But otherwise, it's a very handy feature. Again, top marks. We talked about front, the downward facing camera. That's very, very smart. See that lip, it protrudes really forward. You don't want to scratch that. You don't want to scratch anything in that car. Coat hangers, you let me know. You guys let me know. I mean, they're talking about like, okay, if you afford a Corvette, you probably intend functions and whatnot. I don't know. I think you intend function in any car, but regardless, they're saying there's no coat hanger. I don't think it's a big deal. Hopefully GM will add it because I don't think it requires that much engineering to put a coat hanger. But okay, yeah. So okay, adding a little hook for a coat hanger. I don't see anything wrong with that. Then they talk about the water. That's kind of like an issue. They're saying when the car is wet, when you open the trunk, front and rear, water will get in. Again, let me know if that something happens to you. If you own a Corvette and this happens, that sounds to be like a little problematic. They said you have to wait, you have to open it slowly so the water would drain around, because if you open it quickly, it would just go inside. That cannot be good. Nobody wants water in their trunk, no matter what. Second thing, passenger experience. That is hilarious, because the passenger experience is really funny. I showed this picture, but I'm going to go back a little bit and show you with the passenger experience. You see that little wall right there? that little, I think it's really funny. That's literally a divider. I don't know if you've ever been on a first class, like when you go on a first class, when you travel in first class and you have the little divider in the seat. Or, as you're walking out of the plane and you look at, all this rich class people, the different worlds you're in, you're in that little sardine box and you're walking out of the plane and then you look forward and behind the little curtain, you see the first class seat. That kind of remind me of that. They have that wall like, I'm here and you're there. And that little divider wall is just funny to see it on a car because you can tell the passenger is excluded out of any controls. They're off. I mean, if they want to touch this, even if you don't want to touch the infotainment system, they have to reach over the wall and kind of like, excuse me. I just think that's funny. You can tell this car is made for the driver and not for the passenger. The passenger is there just for the ride. Literally, he's in there for the ride. So that's what I'm talking about. They're saying they're all Hvac controls straddled on top of the small wall between you and the driver. It's not just for physiological impairment, but it gets in the way when you put up your knee and your feet flat on the floor instead of straight out ahead of you. Wow, and even more physical impediment when you want to work on infotainment system, as you need to reach over the wall to the screen. That's way much pointed. Yeah, so they're talking about that. You can't reach it. Like your hands have to go here. It's not happening. Not happening. So yeah, the passenger, but it's okay. No one complaining. Oh yeah. So they talk about the blind spot. They're saying, because the mirror it's a digital. So there's pretty much no getting around this with mid-engine car. Yeah, you can't see behind you. Look over your shoulder is mostly useless. The standard video camera rear view mirror is clutch here. So it's a good thing. The camera is doing really good and working with congestion with your mirror. You should be kind of all right. But they're saying it's almost worth stepping up the 2LT trim just to get the blind spot warning system. Get that if you can. But yeah, here's a closer look at and then they're talking about a wireless phone charger all the way in the back. I think that's kind of intentional so you don't fiddle with your phone. And they say, hey, look, you have all your phone functions on that screen, on the tablet. I was just saying, again, look at the passenger. I mean, this is, again, reminds me of first class. I bet you the guys at GM got this idea from flying first class, or what do you want to call it, business class now. It literally looks like that wall. I mean, you are in your area and look at them. They're just Next, you just want a little divider. Um, so yeah, talking about the charging, I think that would be kind of a nuisance. If you're living this car day by day and you have to reach back to get your phone, I can't get over this. I mean, how do you memorize these things? This is very distracting to me. All these buttons, it's like reinventing the wheel. Let me know what you guys think. To me, this is very stupid. Sorry, I said it. I love this car. It's probably one of the selling feature, but to me, I like these things to be in a way that I can just don't have to think about it. But again, I say it that way because I don't own the car. I don't drive it daily. But if you drive it daily, maybe you memorize where everything is at. Currently, just by looking at it, it looks kind of counterintuitive. You know, getting to the, like, where is it? That one. But I mean, I guess if you use it a couple of times, you remember. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. The talking about the side blades, that those are extension to the side of the doors. It's for the air intake ram, but I'm saying to stick out too much, make the door look wider. That's fine. It's a Corvette. You get it for the looks. The next thing to talk about, the no full size suitcase, please. And really, yeah, I mean, you're. I'm pretty sure. I don't want to say I'm pretty sure because some people this might be their only car, but okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure when they got it, they weren't thinking about their suitcase. The camera review mirror, we talk about that. It's been being excellent. Then I talk about the steering wheel I don't like. Hey, some people might like it. For me, looking at it, it's different. It's just like this. The center console is different, so it allows you great visibility. But some people don't like how it feels. I'm not. I'll probably go aftermarket. I like to change wheels, but you can't with these modern cars because all the tech is in that wheel. So you're kind of stuck with that wheel. But it's fine to me. I don't have an issue with it. Since it's not a full circle, I mean, a lot of really super hyper cars don't even have a full circle steering wheel. So let me know what you guys think. Do you like it or not? I personally, I prefer a circle steering wheel. Just me. Kind of a boring old school, old fart guy. That's my brain. But I do give them credit. It looks nice. Okay, but if I have a choice between this and a circle, I would choose a circle if they offer, but they don't. So that's what I offer. And it's not going to be a point to hold me off from owning this car. I think this car is fantastic. Next thing, here you go. They talk about the long row HVAC button. I was just said, this is what they're saying. The design feature has been controversial from the start. We still undecided. The layout is logical. So in theory, you should be eventually be able to find, oh, so it's logical. That's cool. But we still can remember after a year. See? Yeah, there's just way too many in a row, in a long row to remember where each is without looking. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, you can call that, but again, to be different, you have to do different things. Doors won't open from the inside until you unlock them. We're making it whatever. Okay, so I guess for safety features, you can just open the door. You have to unlock, then open. Once the door unlocked, they will not open from the inside, no matter how many times you push the button. This is to keep you from accidentally opening the door while the car is moving. But most vehicles won't unlock the door and open the door after the second time, basically when you press the button. Not the Corvette. It won't open unless you hit the unlock button first or pull the emergency release on the floor. I think speaking of flight and in first class, I think you need like literally like a visual, like, ladies and gentlemen, in case of an emergency, look underneath your door, and you will find the handle for the emergency release door. Are you willing to sit next to the exit seat? Oh, that's fine. The steering wheel heats the wrong spot. Again, if you live in a very cold climate, this will be something that will bother you. Again, I mean, to me, I'm like, turn on the heater. And those things don't really bother me. I don't need like full comfort. I'm not pampered like that. Okay, I've never been pampered my whole life, so I'm used to, like, I don't know, drop, give me 20. I'm not. Yeah, the mentality is still in my head. So I'm not. Again, its comfort is great. But it's not to that level, not to that extent. Like, oh my God, it doesn't hit the right spot on my hand. I'm like, come on, bro. It's not much. I mean, if I'm in the Arctic, I guess, and this is an Arctic survival machine, but in a Corvette, if it's really snowy and it's freezing cold, it's not even snowy, it's really freezing cold, turn on the heater from far away, wait for the cabin to warm up, and But again, it's easy for me to say, hey, someone out there, again, it's nice that Corvette is thinking about all the possibility and all the different people who might drive it. And that's great. I love the fact that accommodating everybody. And sometimes it's hit and miss. For example, it's not heating the right spot. They're saying it heats. And let me quote it directly. If you live somewhat cold environment, yeah, okay. So it goes, okay, eventually the 10 and the 2, and I'm talking about the 10 and 2 position, let's say the wheel is a clock, and so 10 o'clock and the 2 o'clock warms up, but not quite as much because the hottest spot is from the 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, so more toward this direction, okay? They're saying I would prefer the 10 and the 2 o'clock, okay? Some of us put one hand in the 6 o'clock position, so what happened to those guys? You should be driving that way. And even further down the road, the 9 and 3 o'clock position warms up. So that's what they're talking about. I don't know how they measured it. I think they just felt it, and they said that's how it feels like. Regardless, I think this is a fantastic car. If you have it, congratulations. I can't wait until they bring the supercharged version. But I don't know. Is that coming up? I'm pretty sure they're gonna make it. But for now, it's a beautiful car, a great value for the money, and that's has been Road and Motor Trend. Almost said the other company. That's been Motor Trend experience with the car. If your experiences varies, let us know in the comments below. Oh, it's a beautiful car. I just can't get over that little wall barrier. It's just beautiful. It's such a nice car, and I can't wait for the update version. And it's just when they went from front engine to mid engine, they redesigned everything, and it's just amazing to see. Anyways, as always, if you like this video and you enjoy it, I really appreciate it. Always let me know in the comments below what you think, and don't forget to subscribe and like. It helps a lot. And as always, thank you for watching, and take care out there. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.